What's going on, guys? B. Scott Rich, and on today's show, we got your waiver wire heading into the championship week. It's week number 17. We're going to be talking about guys that I would be picking up just to start this week to hopefully bring home that ship. So keep it locked and loaded right here at the first four downs. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. As I mentioned in the preview, we're going through the waiver wire heading into the championship week. This is must win at this point. Any of these guys are picking up, you're going to probably be picking them up to start them or potentially block them from other people that might need them. So I'm going to go through the waiver wire, just touch on a few players that I love this week, and honestly, some good streaming options at almost each position. So before we get to today's content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, and then comment. If there's a player you want to hear more about or ask about, drop it in the comment section, and you know I'll be glad to give you my advice and my opinion on anything. So let's dive right into it. Let's start at the quarterback position. A few guys that I like in plus matchups. First off, Taysom Hill. We haven't seen him play yet. Facing the Carolina Panthers next week. Now, he's out with COVID this week, so obviously you got to pay attention to that. But if he's back and activated, I like him as a spot start against Carolina Panthers. Carolina's defense has really fallen off a little bit as of late, so I think he'll be a just fine stream option. He's honestly a walk-in 20 points typically when he's out there. Outside of the Tampa Bay Bucks, I had him as a sit and knew it would be a tough matchup. But I like him in this week if he's available. Tua facing the Tennessee Titans next week in Tennessee. Like I mentioned with Taysom Hill, obviously they haven't played this week yet. Tua hasn't played either. But Tennessee, giving up the ninth most fantasy points to the quarterback position on the season. Tua with 2 touchdowns in 3 of his last 4 games. So I like the outlook here for Tua heading into week number 17. If you got to really stream a quarterback, Tua could be an option. And then Justin Fields, I'm going to throw it out here and mention it. Obviously dealing with an ankle. He missed the game last week. If he's available, I like it against the New York Giants. New York Giants stink as a football team all around. They're just playing bad. They've allowed 2+ touchdowns in 3 of their last 4 games to quarterbacks. Justin Fields, 285 and 1 touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings just 2 weeks ago. So if you got to stream a quarterback this week, I like Justin Fields heading into week 17. So let's talk about the running backs. This is a spot where a lot of people were every single week, especially this week. It worked out with Justin Jackson being a huge play. Did very well. Obviously Ronald Jones, he was another big ad. He did okay. So this week, Boston Scott at the Washington football team. Miles Sanders already ruled out for the game next week with a broken hand. Boston Scott, that gives you at least the RB2, and Jordan Howard dealing with a stinger. He could potentially miss. So Boston Scott could be the lead back in an offense that loves to run the football heavy. The last time the Philadelphia Eagles played the Washington football team just a couple weeks ago, over 200 rushing yards against them. So Boston Scott is, in my opinion, a must-add player. Should be top of your list and a potential solid RB2 that has upside to even be stronger than that. 12 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown. That's what he did just yesterday, albeit when Miles Sanders was out. So I like the outlook here for Boston Scott. It's just a great matchup, especially, and we know Philly likes to run the football. So Boston Scott should be the number 1 running back. Another guy that I'm going to mention, Dare Ogunbowale. He is the running back on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, no James Robinson, tore his Achilles. That's not good, not just for this season, but heading to the next season. But if he's the lead back, he's facing the New England Patriots. The defense gives up the 4th most receiving yards to the running back position and the 9th most rushing yards. So they do give up a lot of run to the running back position. They don't give up a lot of touchdowns, but just the usage alone, 17 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown, 2 receptions for 15 yards yesterday against the New York Jets. If you're going to see that kind of usage between 15 to 20 touches, you probably got to be starting this guy anyway. So I like him as a start. This heading into this week could give you potential low-end RB2 production this week. And then Darrell Williams, obviously Clyde Edwards-Helaire dealing with some sort of a little injury. Cincinnati gives up the 5th most receiving yards to the running back position, and Darrell Williams has been getting it done even with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, especially in the passing game. So I like Darrell Williams as a good start next week, especially if Clyde Edwards-Helaire was to be out. It'd be an even bonus, but 11 carries for 55 yards. 3 catches for 30 yards. Darrell Williams this week. He's been given decent flex appeal every single week, and if Clyde Edwards-Helaire were to be out, I would see him as an RB2. So he's another guy that I like heading into this week. And then Rashad Penny, if no one's got him in your league, he's up to about 70% owned. Rashad Penny in a smash spot against the Detroit Lions should be a solid RB2 with RB1 upside, to be honest, in that matchup as well. Just to mention, because he is owned in a lot of leagues. But if he's available in your league, he's a must-start player. Then on to some wide receivers. A couple guys I like. KJ Osborne. He's facing the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. 5th most touchdowns allowed Green Bay to the wide receiver position, 16. Games in which he's had 7+ targets. In 6 games, KJ Osborne. He has 4 touchdowns in those games. So really, if he gets 7 targets, it's highly likely that he finds the end zone. Obviously, Adam Thielen looks like re-aggravated his injury, the ankle injury. If he's not available, KJ Osborne to me is a pretty solid wide receiver 2-3 option. I think he's going to have to be targeted here. I think Minnesota in a must-win game against Green Bay Packers, they're going to come out and try and fire. You got to be starting KJ Osborne. I would be heading into this week. Coming off game 7, targets, 5 catches, 68 yards and a touchdown. Pretty solid day. I like him this week as well in a good spot, especially if Thielen were to miss. And then Allen Lazard on the flip side of that ball, another wide receiver I like this week, facing the Minnesota Vikings, give up the most fantasy points to the quarterback or to the wide receiver position. Allen Lazard, a touchdown in 2 of his last 3 games. Honestly, dropped a second touchdown last game. 5 targets, 2 catches, 45 yards and a touchdown. MVS still up in the air whether he'll be available or not. Last time these teams faced each other, MVS and Devontae Adams both cleared 100 yards and had a touchdown. So I like Allen Lazard's outlook here, especially if MVS were to miss. But I think this smells shootout altogether. There could be a lot of points in this game. So Allen Lazard, I like him as a good flex to wide receiver 3 option this week. And then Gerald Everett at the tight end position. We talked about a couple tight ends. One is Gerald Everett. Back-to-back games with 4 receptions and 60-plus yards. 9+ PPR points in 5 of his last 7 games. Coming off game, 5 targets, 4 catches, 68 yards. Found the end zone, was wide open. Detroit, the 4th most yards and receptions to the tight end position. So they do give up a lot of run to the tight ends. And it's looking like Russell Wilson likes Gerald Everett at this point. And he's struggled to get his other receivers the ball on a consistent basis. So Gerald Everett looking like a rock-solid option, and I like him this week as a good, probably low-end tight end 1 with upside. And then Foster Moreau, my other tight end that would be a good stream option this week for the championships at the Indianapolis Colts. 4 targets, 4 catches, 67 yards. He's had 4+ receptions and 60+ yards in back-to-back games, albeit he struggled in the first couple games in which obviously Darren Waller was out. But if Darren Waller was to miss this game especially, the Indianapolis Colts give up the 4th most fantasy points to the tight end position, the most yards, the most receptions. So I like Foster Moreau's outlook here. They're probably going to have to throw the ball, the Las Vegas Raiders, to stay in the game in Indianapolis. It's going to be a tough one. He's averaged 6 targets in his last 3 games. So the outlook here for Foster Moreau is pretty good, especially heading into this week against the Indianapolis Colts. And if you need a tight end streamer, he's a good option. So that's it. That's my short, sweet waiver wire heading into the championship week. At this point, there's not a lot of guys that are going to save you. So hopefully you got a team built to make that last-ditch effort to win it all this week. So if you have any questions about any player or any advice, drop in the comment section. I'll be glad to give you my opinions and my advice to the best of my ability to help you hopefully get over the hump and take down your opponent this week to win that championship. And while you're there, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell for all your fantasy information all season long. We'll have all off-season stuff. We'll have everything you're going to be looking for. We talk about the regular NFL. We got our matchup videos. We're going to go into the playoffs and the Super Bowl and give you our picks and all that good stuff. So for the first 4 downs, it's been B. Scott, and I'm out.